Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the paradoxical theory of change. So, change is something that, of course, we hope for when things are not to our liking. For instance, you may feel stuck, you may feel unhappy, you may feel opposed in any way to what's going on, and you'd like it to change. Very understandable. On the other hand, the more energy you invest in forcing that situation to change, often you discover you end up reinforcing it. Um, at the very least, there's a hint that the situation isn't changing and it just gets frustrating. um, Often it takes that much frustration or a certain threshold of it before we do the other thing that might help the change occur. And that's where the paradox comes in. The paradox is if we stop trying to change the situation and instead surrender to it and accept it, then something actually begins to change. Why is that a paradox? It's a paradox, of course, because if you want something to change, it would seem contradictory to do nothing about it or not change it. On the other hand, you could state that positively as you're going to accept it. You're going to really feel into what's going on for you, and make peace with it as something that is here in the present. So if you're feeling, as I said before, unhappy, or if you're frustrated or opposed to something, or feeling stuck, all of these things and many more will benefit potentially from the surrender you give after you've tried everything else and you're just willing to say, you know what? Nothing's working. I'm just going to accept it. And then, strangely, the acceptance is the magic that allows the situation to shift. It's a really fascinating subject, how that piece takes place. It's very hard to put words to that. How exactly does that acceptance change the situation where nothing else could? I think in a way what we get into here is the fact that we don't really solve problems, we transcend them. And in that moment of surrender, what happens, well, it's more like something inside of you shifts, and then the problem is not what it used to be. Often it just sort of releases itself, and its consequences become different somehow from the position you're in when you've accepted it. That's mysterious stuff, and you have to find out for yourself, but I think we've all experienced it if we do some reflection on how things in our lives have changed when they were things that would not change through coercion and forceful measures.